YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and we are back here on Destiny 2. Alright folks, in this video, we're going to do a full review of the pinnacle weapon for Gambit 4 Season 5. That is the new auto rifle called the Breakneck. Is it the best primary in the game? Is it the best auto rifle in the game? What are some really good setups with this? Is it good in Gambit? Is it good in PvE? Is it good in PvP? We'll talk about everything in this video. If you enjoy my content, please hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and let's get into it, folks. The Breakneck auto rifle is probably one of the most unique legendary weapons that we have in Destiny 2 to date. You want to think of it as a 450 round per minute auto rifle with good range and hits hard, but then also becomes a submachine gun with even more damage. To get the Breakneck, you need to grab the quest from the Drifter. Now, I would recommend picking it up on a character that you feel most comfortable with playing Gambit, because you will need to play a lot of Gambit. You will need to get 500 auto rifle kills, 100 auto rifle multi-kills, and that's just when 2 enemies are killed back to back with an auto rifle. Challenging enemies defeated, 150, that simply means yellow bars, and then you need to play 40 Gambit matches. You do not have to win them, just simply play Gambit, you get 40 matches done, and you are complete. The Breakneck is a monster in Gambit and most PvE activities. That all depends if you enjoy 450 round per minute auto rifles. That's my favorite archetype when it comes to auto rifles. This one is a precision frame. However, it does take some getting used to, because 1 minute it's acting like a submachine gun, and then 1 minute it's acting like a, well, regular 450 round per minute hard-hitting auto rifle. Because it's got a new perk that's new to the season called Onslaught. Onslaught is going to take the main perk, which is Rampage, and make it even better, and this weapon also has a hidden perk. So Rampage's kills with this weapon will temporarily grant increased damage and stack up to 3 times. But then you have Onslaught. This weapon's rate of fire will increase as you stack the Rampage. Now, when you're stacking that Rampage and you're getting that increase of fire rate, you're still getting the same damage. So it's like a long-range submachine gun, and I don't really see much recoil once Onslaught kicks in. Now, I've been stacking a whole bunch of mods, and I messed with a whole ton of them, and I'll tell you what the main one is that I would suggest using on this weapon. So I tried everything: minor spec, major spec, target adjuster, backup mag. I even tried the Taken spec mod, but I wouldn't use that one. Backup mag is going to give you an extra 5 rounds. This weapon already has 40 rounds in the magazine, so I would not use backup mag. When you do get this weapon, it comes as a tier 10 masterwork with a range bonus on it. One of the cool things about this weapon is that it is a static roll, which means it goes to your collections. So if you like this weapon, and I guarantee you will, you can get multiple versions and try different mods on it. As of right now, the only new mods that we see in the database are Dragonfly spec, Quick Sling Access, Radar Booster, Rampage spec, Sprint Grip, and Surrounded spec. More than likely, we'll want to use Rampage spec. When we saw the Vidoc and they scrolled over Rampage spec, it said that Rampage spec is going to increase the damage of Rampage, which is going to make Rampage even better. The database is also showing some Black Armory mods, so we don't know what those are right now, but all I know is that it's going to require some schematics and also a lot of mod components. But looks like we can buy mod components from the new NPC 801 with gunsmith materials and legendary shards. What I found with all the testing of the mods that I had, I found that minor spec worked the best. Minor spec is going to do bonus damage to red bars, not yellow bars. But it works out well because what happens is you can start laying into red bars. You're going to kill them really quickly because of 1, Rampage, 2, the increased fire rate, and then you could lay into a yellow bar that's really close to them. You'll have the increased fire rate and the bonus damage from Rampage. One of the other things that I really love about this weapon is that you don't need target adjuster necessarily on this weapon. I know I personally like target adjuster on a lot of weapons, like my Chattering Bone, the Tiger Spite, but if you look up the aim assist, it has the same aim assist as the Tiger Spite, a value of 44. So you could throw on Target Adjuster and it will stick a little bit more to the crit spots of enemies, but I don't really think you need it. I think I would throw on a minor spec mod. When you put on a minor spec mod, you will do a bonus of 7.8% bonus damage to red bars. Now you couple that with good old Rampage. 1 stack of Rampage will give you 20% extra damage, 2 stacks 41%, and 3 times will be 65%. Looking at the footage, you probably have already guessed what the hidden perk is. The hidden perk is a really fast reload when you have Onslaught and Rampage procced. You saw that reload right there? It was not that great. Once I get Rampage and Onslaught to proc, well, my reload's going to be very, very quickly. Now, I don't know the exact percentage, but the base reload on this thing is only 33. The base reload speed on my ex-favorite auto rifle, which was the Tiger Spite, the Dreaming City auto rifle, that had a base reload stat of 44. So this one reloads slow if you do not have Rampage or Onslaught proc. So you're getting the best of both worlds with this weapon. When you're just firing it before Rampage and Onslaught, well, you've got yourself a 450 round per minute precision, decent hitting, really nice range auto rifle. Then once you get Onslaught and Rampage to proc, well, the recoil does not change at all. This thing it still stays like a laser beam. I tried counterbalance on it. In my opinion, you don't need counterbalance. It's completely manageable, especially on console. This thing is a monster as is. I cannot imagine what it's going to be like once we have the Rampage spec mod to throw on top of this thing. But like I mentioned before, if you lay into a bunch of red bars and then lay into a yellow bar, you're getting that bonus damage from Rampage. You're not getting bonus damage from the minor spec mod, but a lot of times in Gambit, when we had the Primeval spawn, I would be shooting some of the red bars, get Rampage to proc, get Onslaught to proc, and then start laying into the Primeval. But then, of course, Rampage will run out. And of course, here's the clip that I think Bungie teased us with when they first announced it. So 100%, this weapon, I would definitely grind for this thing. It's a little bit of a chore, but for me, it wasn't that much of a chore because, look, I love Gambit. I'm addicted to Gambit. It's one of my favorite things to do in the game right now. That's probably why I don't have any exotics, or not one piece of exotic Forsaken armor, is because I don't get any drops, and I don't really do any challenges that much anymore because I'm too busy playing Gambit. Now, let's address a few things. We're going to talk about some fun builds you could do with this, and maybe some exotics you might like with the Breakneck. Let's talk about ammo. I saw a few people on Twitter tell me this thing runs out of ammo too quickly. All right, well, my answer to that is don't use it 100%. Use your secondary weapon. Don't always just use this for everything in whatever activity you're using. You'll be fine with ammo. If you really think it's a problem, well, look through your armor and see if you have something that has primary ammo scavenger or auto rifle scavenger. One of those types of perks will help with the ammunition situation. But myself personally, the only time I found myself sometimes running out of ammo was in the blind well when I was testing this thing out. But even then, I just left the center area we were holding down, grabbed some ammo, and I was fine. A fun build that you can run with the Breakneck is on your Titan with the Rally Barricade and the exotic chest piece, the Actium War Rig. The Actium War Rig is going to load ammunition from your reserves into the magazine every second. So the bigger the magazine, the more ammunition that comes from your reserves into the magazine. Now that works really well on something like Sweet Business or something because that thing has 100 rounds in the magazine. So I think every second you get like 10 rounds. With the Breakneck, without backup mag, you get 4 rounds every second. But the real fun is, of course, the Rally Barricade, where you put up your Rally Barricade, you simply stand in front of it, and you just lay into anything that's in front of you. And you can move left, you can move right. Yeah, the Rally Barricade, coupled with the Actium War Rig, is a pretty fun build. And as I mentioned before, it's the same deal. You're laying it to red bars, getting Onslaught and Rampage to proc, and then you lay into the yellow bar. But then once that runs out, you still have yourself a hard-hitting 450 round precision frame auto rifle. Another really fun build is using the exotic boots for the Warlock called Lunafaction boots. When you put your Rift down, you're going to just constantly reload your ammunition, and if you make it an Empowering Rift, you're going to bonus your range. Here, I was Mesa failing and forgot to put on Empowering Rift. I just have Healing Rift. But here I am, just literally standing in my Rift and just clearing out the entire room, constantly getting Onslaught and also Rampage to proc. Using it with your Well of Radiance is of course much better because you're getting protection from enemies and also you're getting bonus damage. So when the Scourge of the Past raid comes out on December 7th, I will probably go with Warlock, Will of Radiance, and try this out as my primary weapon. In the Crucible, it's going to act like any other 450 round per minute auto rifle for the most part. It's going to have really good range, and it's going to do 26s in terms of crits. However, if you want a full PvP review, I'm not sure if they've done videos yet, but check out Astacross or Cool Guy. I gotta be frank, guys, I tapped out after a couple of games of PvP. I was getting killed non-stop by grenade launchers. Now granted, I understand why. It's part of the quest line for the Pinnacle Crucible weapon, which is the grenade launcher, primary grenade launcher, the Mountaintop. So I think I'll go back into the Crucible once everyone has gotten their Mountaintop, and maybe things will have settled down by then for an average PvP scrub like myself. That is going to do it for this video, guys. Leave me a hashtag made it to the end to become legend. And that's it. Do me a favor. Drop a like in this video, only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube. And that is it. I am out of here like Vladimir.